this Italian luggage cart that I found here at the compound.
Finally, we've been waiting. Hey, this is Jeff Wick, editor of the Fayette County Record, joined as always by Andy Balin. And special guest today, Mark Massey. We are here at Mark's Special Events Center, the compound right off 237, just south of Round Top, right?
Right, just about 2 miles just south of Round Top in the town square.
And Poncho here, we've been waiting all day for him to finally get the paper here and delivering this on this special card. Little known fact, all copies of the Fayette County Record get delivered this way.
That's why they're late.
But hot off the presses, this is the first copy of the new edition of the Fayette County Record, and we're so glad Mark has joined us to talk about some of the headlines. And then after we do, we're going to get a tour of this wonderful event center. And you know, of course, as always, Round Top and 4th of July go together, but you don't have to wait until July 4th to celebrate some Independence festivities here. Mark is hosting a big event this Saturday, but we'll get more into that after we talk about the news. Andy, you want to talk a little bit about some of the things folks can find in the new copy of the paper?
Well, here on the front page today, FCR summer intern Carrie Cather has a story about this young fellow from Fayetteville, Miles Gillette Bockhorn, who won a gold medal for playing the piano at state this past year. The interesting thing is Fayetteville does not have a music program, so young Mr. Bockhorn was able to accomplish that all on his own. It's quite impressive. Also, in Flatonia, I have a story about all the new business activity over there. Big news is a massive new Dollar General, over 8,000 square feet that they moved into this week, and a couple other business developments. The new Napa Auto Parts store had their grand opening. Is having their grand opening tomorrow morning. And then Cindy and Randy Johnson over at the market are opening up a new liquor store next door to their grocery. So lots of activity over there. Also, we learned late last night that there was a fire in High Hill, burned down a home on Pettit Lane. And just learned this morning that the home belonged to Elgin Christianek. Started from a lawnmower that caught on fire and spread to some grass and spread to the house and reportedly burned the house to the ground. We're going out there this afternoon to check it out. What else do we have in the paper today?
We got a headline right here. Validity of Round Top office holders questioned. Now wait a minute. I do believe you're one of those, aren't you, Mark?
I am, yes.
Is your validity being questioned?
I hope not, but basically what's going on now in Round Top is, if you've been following the paper and the register, and the record is town council is currently reviewing the wastewater questions that have come up, and also the current land use ordinance. There's some kind of editing going on as far as getting that land use ordinance back to its current state with some new rules, regulations. And right now we've had several public meetings with town council, with residents here in Round Top. And we've made some good input and hope to have those new changes out and have an official new land use ordinance this summer or late fall. So it'll be a process, but we're making those first important steps to get there.
And I believe we've got a World Comes to Round Top in here, don't we, somewhere?
Yeah, I think that's on B2 over there. Their ongoing coverage of Festival Hill, some of the great young people that are over there performing.
This time, this article is about Mr. Juan Riveros, a harpist.
Read the lead. It's so good.
What do soccer moms and harpists have in common? The minivan.
What it takes to transport a harp.
Oh, gosh. Well, but a ton of other things you can find in today's record. But let's turn our attention to the compound here, Mark. Tell us a little bit about where we're standing.
Sure. Well, thanks for coming over. You're here at the compound. It's a 57-acre master plan venue. If you've been here before during the spring and fall antique show, all 5 structures are filled with dealers from everywhere from Paris, France, Nashville, Tennessee, California, New York, right here in Texas as well. Specializing in antiques, art, jewelry, a little bit of everything. Right now it's about 50,000 or so square feet of space.
Wow.
When I'm not hosting the spring and fall antique show, I'll host weddings here, private parties, special events. And one of those events is coming up this Saturday, June 30th. I hope everyone can make it. This will be the 4th annual Round Top Independence Day kind of kickoff to 4th of July. That'll be this Saturday, June 30th from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. And we'll have everything here from food trucks, Simply Delish out of Brenham. They'll be here, as well as Outlaw Barbecue. They're a new group just south here in Warrington. We'll have a kettle corn guy, shaved ice, live music by Black Cat Choir. And then at 9 o'clock, Mr. B from Schulenburg will have about a 20 or so minute fireworks show. And this is going to be a real deal, legit fireworks show. If you've been here the past few years at the compound for the 4th of July event, which was initially started by the Round Top Inn in Round Top, we'll have about a 20-minute show. Very impressive, a big finale. So this is going to be a real deal, legit show. So please come down. It's $5 per person. Children 12 and under are free, and proceeds are to benefit the Round Top Warrington Volunteer Fire Department. And so it'll be a great, fun time. Lawn games, food and drink, apple pie contest, and we can actually go inside this building here if you'd like to. We'll have, I believe last year we had about 10 to 12 different contestants bake their own apple pie, and it got pretty competitive and it gets pretty intense. So we'll do that again this year as well. And I can lead you in this way to
Yeah, why don't as we chat, let's walk that.
Explore the grounds.
Yeah, so kind of tell us how this whole place gets started.
Basically, my background is in real estate development, and my grandparents have been around Top since the mid-'60s. So my brother and I grew up coming up here to Round Top, fishing, four-wheelers, all kinds of fun things. And I was living in New York at the time when my parents, brother and I, initially started to redevelop Hinkle Square in Round Top. And we purchased the property in 2009, redeveloped Hinkle Square, saved, preserved a bunch of the buildings. And the idea came to my head about, what else could Round Top use that could handle, large crowds, events, and there really wasn't anything in the area. Thank you. So the idea of a large, almost essentially country convention center. So that's where we are
a
now.
good way to put it. Yeah,
Exactly.
Country Convention Center.
Right.
Oh, look at this
And
building.
then all the buildings you see here on site are all in keeping with the Round Top look. So no metal buildings, no tents. The big barn that we're in now, called the Peck Barn, is actually modeled after my grandparents' barn here in Round Top. Same kind of that Round Top classic style look. All the barns are of cedar construction.
I love that smell when you walk in.
That kind of hits you like that fresh,
Yeah,
that
smells
fresh
great.
cedar, right. Louis Tyndall General Contractors, he's a big name in this area. He essentially built everything you see here. He and his crew did an amazing job. The whole goal look was just a classic country style Round Top look that fit in with the landscape. And not only do I have the spring and fall antique show events that Kathy Johnson, she's the show producer, she's here as well. But we're doing the winter antique show. We'll have an art show in May. Summer usually has a bunch of weddings and music. And then for the first time this December, the first weekend of December, I'll have the Round Top Chris Kendall Market, kind of a throwback to the European, French, German Christmas markets you would see in the town villages. So that show will be geared more towards gift giving, food and drink, Christmas, kind of holiday music. So that'll be the first weekend of December.
No,
So-
barns aren't usually this comfortable. I mean, we just walked out from like 85-degree weather, and it's about 72 in here now.
Exactly.
It feels great.
No, they did a great job building it. It's very solid construction. It stays cool, and then it's hot, Round Top summer. So, and the fans above you, those are actually really great. They're called, the brand is called Big Ass Fans, and they're quiet. They move some serious air. So these are actually the smaller versions. They make a version about 26 feet in diameter, almost as large as a helicopter blade.
Can we walk out this way and
Sure.
take a look at maybe some of the other buildings?
Sure.
Don't you have a food court out here?
Right, so
sometime?
just kind of in the center of the compound, this grove area, is where really a lot of the food vendors, the food and drink, live music happens. And it's just a really great grove area underneath about 8 or so large oak trees.
And all these buildings are kind of named after and homages to aspects of your family's history.
Correct, right. So the barn we were in was called the Peck Barn, after Northrop and Carolyn Peck, my grandparents, my mom's side. And then the barn behind you over here is called the Neal Barn. That name also runs in the family. And my middle name, Monroe, that'll be a future barn, Monroe barn. And the whole kind of concept here of the compound is almost like an upstate New York, Texas country estate, kind of a blend of both. So the feeling of a classic look, manicured grounds, just kind of all the farm details you would see in something like in a classic farm estate.
Now, if somebody was renting this for like a wedding or something, could they rent it building by building, or do they rent? You just rent the whole place?
You pretty much have the entire grounds to yourself. So typically for a wedding, for example, then there may be a ceremony in the grove behind you, or in one of the courtyards of the buildings, and then they'll follow with drinks in the gazebo. And then after that, they'll make their way into the pet barn for the reception. And we've had all kinds of great caterers. We try to work locally as much as possible. Royers have been here, Skavaiska Barbecue, Bistro 108 at LaGrange, just to name a few. But we really try to focus on promoting the local businesses for all things weddings, flowers, bakery, photography, and catering as well. Mondito's in Round Top just actually had their first wedding catering job here about, I think it was last month or so, right? Yeah.
When you have the antique shows out here, is there admission? Is there free parking?
No, so that's one of the perks of the compound show is that there's no gate fee, free parking.
Wow.
Come in, take your time, relax. There's essentially no cover charge to shop. So that's one thing that a lot of the customers and dealers really appreciate. Really only two other venues charge: Marburger Farm, which is my neighbor next door, and Big Red Barn, just north of Round Top. But the compound, no gate fee, no parking fee, just come in, relax, shop, have a good time, and make yourself at home.
That's awesome.
You say you have vendors in all these buildings during the fair.
Correct. We have there are 5 total structures here, about 32 different dealers, and those dealers really come from all over. Like I said, I've got two from Paris, France, not Paris, Texas. Some from Nashville, Tennessee, California, several here from Texas, Florida, several from the East Coast. I mean, it's a really good blend of dealers and true antique vintage finds. And those dealers here, this has been my 6th show. They've kind of become a little family, and they all look forward to seeing each other again and having a big, reuniting party essentially.
And you bought those Italian luggage carts from one of your vendors, I know.
Right, one of those dealers. I've got 4 of those luggage carts that you delivered the paper with today, so thank you for that. But they're great. Those carts are used for weddings, events. They're mobile, so they can be pushed around everywhere and used for all kinds of decoration.
Well, this is my first time out here, and it's stunning from the highway. But when you're actually on here, I mean, this is just an amazing complex, Mark.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. More to come. I've recently sold off a couple of acres on the north side here to 2 dealers that want their own place here at the compound, essentially year-round. So instead of them renting from other venues around, they want to be part of the compound show that Kathy Johnson and I have developed, and essentially, they'll have their own barn and style and look that, in keeping, that'll mimic with what I have here. And they're super excited. We are as well. So it's a way to grow the compound show, and also to bring in, dealers that want a permanent presence here and want to have a stake in the show as well.
You said you had some other property down here. You have a contract. What is
Right.
the idea for that area?
That is, it's 21 acres on the south side. It's currently under contract right now. And the developer, they're out of California area, and he's actually a dealer here during the show as well. Not here at the compound, but in the Round Top area. And he does other businesses on the side as far as development. And the goal for that 21 acres is essentially a gated community. Imagine, if you would, several big barns, kind of in keeping with what these here are. Several big barns scattered around the 21 acres. And each barn divided into about 4 or so units. Each unit it will be 2 stories, about 1,500 to 1,800 square feet, 2 bed, 2 bath, but geared towards those that want a presence in Round Top but don't necessarily want the maintenance and the issues of having a large property to maintain. So almost essentially like lock and leave units, and then there'll be a gym, a dog park, and manicured grounds, and all those pathways will connect into the compound here as well. So people looking for housing in the area that don't necessarily want lot of acreage and maintenance that goes along with that.
Might not want to deal with the Round Top land use ordinance.
Oh no, we're actually so 2 miles outside of town here. We're none of those rules really apply. However, I do have my own rules here. So this isn't the true Wild West out here. I have some rules that everyone has to play by, which not only protects myself but everyone else here. And those rules, again, no metal buildings, no tents. Everything built has to be in keeping with what I've developed here.
Awesome.
Good-o.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah.
Keeping some order to the otherwise chaotic antique
Exactly.
shows.
Right.
Well, gosh, Mark, hey, thanks so much for having us
Absolutely.
out.
Thanks
and
for coming out.
I think Poncho's strength has recovered enough. You ready for 6,000 copies of the paper on that luggage
load 'em
cart?
up.
All right, all right.
But again, this Saturday, June 30th for the 4th of July, we encourage everyone to come out here and check it out. Food trucks, live music, Black Cat Choir. We've had some great local sponsorships with Junk Gypsy and Fireworks, Mr. B Fireworks out of Schulenburg.
He's the best.
$5 entry fee. Proceeds to benefit the Round Top Warrington Volunteer Fire Department, and apple pie contest, beer, wine, music, barbecue, all kinds of fun stuff.
Great.
Awesome. Yeah, we're going to link to your Facebook page in this video, but do you have a website also that people can
I
check
do.
out?
Roundtopcompound.com.
Okay.
For more
And you can always find us at FayetteCountyRecord.com or on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Thanks so much for watching.